Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. We are live from El Salvador, and unfortunately we cannot do the whole show from here. I wish we could. There are technical limitations. There's a bad delay, thunderstorms, I don't have a teleprompter, something happened to my necktie along the way. So Laura Ingraham is going to take over the show in just a minute. We're grateful for that. And in any case, the news seems to be happening back at home. Did you see what Anthony Scaramucci said about his coworkers? The new White House communications director lit up Reince Priebus and a bunch of other people in the White House. How do I know this? Because we were in a van outside the presidential palace in El Salvador, and about 9 people texted it to me, and everyone in the van was reading this like a golden retriever, mouth open, panting with shock. And it reminded me, and maybe this has happened to you, of those Sunday afternoons where YouTube takes over your life. If you haven't typed in "fat kid falls off bike" into YouTube, treat yourself. I dare you. You will spend hours. You will not be able to turn away. It's humiliating. It's buffoonish. It's totally pointless. It achieves nothing, and yet it's a spectacle that somehow is irresistible. It may be related to this. I guess the only point I would make is that none of this, as amazing and unprecedented and compelling as it is, will rate as meaningful if the administration achieves the things it was elected to do. Speaking of which, we are here for 2 reasons. One, to do reporting for a series we're doing next week on MS-13, which, by the way, is a priority, a stated priority of this administration, getting on the back of the world's most dangerous street gang, many of whom are in the United States, but also to talk to the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, who's down here for meetings with Salvadoran officials. We caught up with him this morning, and because it was in the news, asked him about his recent spat, really a one-sided spat, the attacks he's received from his boss, the President of the United States. Here's what Jeff Sessions said when we asked him. Mr. Attorney General, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
You've seen the President's criticism of you. Do you think it's fair?
Well, it's kind of hurtful, but the President of the United States is a strong leader. He is determined to move this country in the direction he believes it needs to go to make us great again. And he has had a lot of criticisms, and he's steadfastly determined to get his job done, and he wants all of us to do our jobs, and that's what I intend to do.
He has said again and again in many different forums throughout this barrage that you should have acted differently. You should have not recused yourself from oversight of the Russia investigation. Do you agree with that? Well,
you know, I understand his feelings about it because this has been a big distraction for him. But, Tucker, I talked to experts in the Department of Justice, people who are trained in that. I'm confident I made the right decision, the decision that's consistent for the rule of law. And an Attorney General who doesn't follow the law is not very effective in leading the Department of Justice. So I think as with 15 years in the department, having served in that great department, knowing the integrity that's required of the Attorney General, I believe I made the right decision.
You said the criticism was hurtful, and the President has made it really clear that he doesn't seem to want you to run the Department of Justice. Will you continue to run it?
Well, he can make that clear at any time. I serve at the pleasure of the President. Yes. If he wants to make a change, he can certainly do so, and I would be glad to yield in that circumstance, no doubt about it. But I do believe that we are making tremendous progress. I can feel the movement that we're doing. We had a 25% increase in prosecution of criminals with guns just this last quarter, the first real quarter that I've been in office. Prosecutions are going to be up, production is going to be up, with no new resources, not a single new United States attorney on board. We're going to lead this department effectively. He believes that we should end the lawlessness of immigration, as do I. We share such a common interest there. We've already seen a 50% reduction in that. We're stepping up prosecutions across the country. They're dealing with this transnational criminal organizations. It was a direct executive order he gave to us, and so we're stepping up, particularly this MS-13 gang criminal violence out there all over our country, but also meeting here today to work with the local Attorney General here. He's making great progress, and I think the partnership we've had for several months now has helped encourage him and support him in his very bold efforts that are hurting MS-13 right here in El Salvador. So that kind of thing is what's exciting to me. We've achieved in many ways more than I thought at this point in time.
Can you tell us anything about the criminal investigation into intelligence leaks that you're apparently starting?
Well, look, I have not been happy with the past prosecutions and investigations of criminal leaks. We've already taken a number of steps. Tucker, we'll have multiple times. We'll have a press conference next week about it, but we already have multiples numbers of prosecutions compared to last year at this time. We're stepping up those cases. It cannot continue. Some people need to go to jail. If we can make cases, they are going to jail. And that will be our advocacy, which we have been working on before. And the President has every right to ask the Department of Justice to be more aggressive in that, and we intend to.
Do you have any conversations scheduled with the President on your calendar?
I don't think it's on the calendar yet. People have talked about it at the White House, but I believe that I understand his mission. I understand his goals. That's why I supported him for president. I share his beliefs that we've got to do more about crime, more about illegal immigration, more about gangs and violence. And it's an honor and a pleasure to be able to lead that effort.
Mr. Trinidad, thank you.
Thank you.